G'day Aussie gamers, welcome to the Aussie Gamers Express video game podcast. The podcast that brings you news, reviews and video game related fun. Get yourself set, it's time to hand you over to your hosts, Lucas and Red. Hey Aussie gamers, this is episode 126 and today... Ooh, what was that? What was that? Phone?
That was my fucking phone, man. Everything else is muted, my bad. It was an email from Sony too.
Rude sons of bitches.
Tell me about it. Sorry.
And take two. Fuck it, let's run with it. This is episode 126, and today is Tuesday, the 24th of May, 2016. I am your host, Lucas, and here with me is my good friend, Red. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And for the astute listeners, you'd realise that we were recorded on Saturday, so it feels like we were here 20 minutes ago.
I know, but Red, I'm going to call you out, man. You're a liar.
I'm a liar. Fair enough. What did I gain out of it, though?
I have no idea. No sympathy, maybe? You are not okay. We are both under the weather. We're crook.
Oh, we are, yes.
I think
but we're still here doing our thing.
That's it. We can't not do this. This is too good and too fun. So regardless of our crookness, our sickies will not be brought forward into our Aussie Gamers Express podcast. But anyway, before we start, here's this week's show in preview. As usual, we will do a video game discussion, then we'll do tight-ass gaming, and then video game news. And in this week's news, we've got June's Games with Gold, apparently leaked very early, Fruit Ninja to follow Angry Birds, Gran Turismo Sport beta cancelled on the PC, Destiny... DLC, Sexist video game tester fired, is that you, Red, and Halo 5 Forge tools. After that we'll do What's That Sound, and then Red will close the show off with a Red shout. And that's it. Video game discussion time, Red. Tell us about your week.
My weekend. Well, after we recorded the show, touch wood, thank God, like Telstra had a nationwide outage. And I know what was causing it too now. It was a firmware update for modems that was just completely fucked. So everyone with a Telstra modem had no internet for near on 24 hours.
Do they automatically update, do they?
The firmware, yeah, they do.
Oh, wow, I didn't know
that. There's an internal setting that they'll do it at, say, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. They turn themselves off, firmware update, and then come back on. And for 99% of us, we'd never realised what's happened. But they done one at about fucking 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so not long after the podcast, and I had no fucking internet, so that's when I started to feel a bit run down, so I cracked the shits and I watched football and had a really early night, so I done nothing on Friday, and it's a great way to start video game discussion, isn't it? But Saturday, Sunday, well... We had a go. My first real game for the weekend was with you, the Nitro Blasters.
Oh, yes. Heroine's Infinite Duel.
Or boobs.
Boobs. They are over-sexualised, the female characters, which it only has. But, I don't know, it's not as bad as, like, you know...
Dead or Alive.
Dead or Alive or anything like that.
No, well, they marketed it in Dead or Alive. You could buy... With microtransactions, you could buy 30 different skimpy outfits for each female competitor.
Yeah.
You know, they really tried to capitalise on it, where they're all chicks, and it's all anime style, and all your sidekicks are all female as well. But I couldn't overcome the button masher extraordinaire over here.
Yes, Lucas is good at a game compared to Red in online play.
Yeah, but I guess the thing that we really needed to comment on was its network capabilities.
Yeah, there's big positives and massive negatives there.
It was nigh on perfect for us in a friendly duel, except for the fact it wouldn't record any stats.
Yeah, it didn't record win-loss and stuff like that. But, yeah, so between...
Yeah.
Sorry?
Did you not have issues trying to find a game?
Yeah, well, so that's the issue, where searched for games online, and it came up with one room, and that room was called Test Room. So when I saw Test Room, I thought I'd double check, because we've done our review on a copy of the game supplied by the marketing company, the developer. So I hesitated, and I thought, oh, maybe this game's not out yet. Maybe that's why there's no servers or whatever, and there's just this one that says Test Room. So I looked it up, and no, sure as hell, it was released a little while ago, and it was already, like, the game's available to purchase on the store. So there was literally only one available game called Test Room, and it had 2 players in it that were fighting each other, and I was placed in a queue to fight next. And we played a couple of games. I got my ass absolutely handed to me. They kicked me bad each time. Didn't really get a chance in by an opponent that was using the same character over and over and the same move over and over. But hey, that's a tactic. You can do that, and I wasn't good enough to overcome that. But that was it. That was all there was. And look, mind you, the connectivity for that room worked perfectly. There was no dramas, but I could not find any other instance of a game. So there's nobody playing it. That's probably the biggest problem. So as I've said in a review which I've published on the website, which is www.aussiegamersexpress.com, if you do have a particular interest in this game, you might want to tee up with some friends that are going to get the game as well, or head across, I don't know if these exist, I'm sure they do for everything, go to a forum on the internet somewhere and try and find some people that are playing it and tee up to play with them, because just winging it, as we did, essentially, you're not going to find anyone.
Surely there's a Facebook page dedicated to it or something.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Or make one. Make one if you're that keen, and try and find some people to play. Because other than that, the online stuff worked perfectly. I never had any lag that was noticeable. I never had any dropout for a game. I didn't have any issues at all. It was actually
I lagged every time I lost.
Well, that's your excuse anyway.
colourful. Yeah. Was it 30 frames? 60 frames? I have no idea.
You know what? There's that much shit going on the screen. It's pretty hard to tell. I don't think it was 60. But I don't think it was 30. It might have been one of those, 45 frames sort of games.
Yeah. Well, it never... Yeah, there was never any frame drops or anything like that. It just worked. It was colourful, delivered on what it's promised. It had aspects of your Mortal Kombats with your breakers and your power bars down the bottom, but essentially it was it's trying to be a little bit individual. Probably that's why there's only women, and some of the attacks, like your specials with your companions and everything like that, that kind of added a bit of an edge to it. So I don't regret playing it. So it's a small download, 2.7 gig.
Yeah, look, it delivered everything that a fighting game should, with respect to the online part. There's a story mode which isn't very long, and on the normal setting isn't very hard. However, there's 7 duels. All 6 duels are smashed and had no dramas. Couldn't beat the 7th. Couldn't beat the final. That's like a weird difficulty spike where it's just stupidly easy. Didn't lose a match or a round, and then the final boss comes in and just couldn't get a look in. It was absolutely disgraceful. What the final boss would do, if I took off like a decent chunk of health and it looked like I was getting anywhere, there was this like massive game over move that it would pull, which would take my health from 3/4 to dead.
Shit.
It was like just an insta-kill. It was obviously there's probably some sort of tactic doing it, but I couldn't work it out in the time that I spent playing it. But it worked well anyway. I played a bit of couch co-op with Snoogans. Thanks for that, Sturgs. And I think he beat me a couple of times, but my button mashing skills are far superior. See, when it comes to me versus somebody that hasn't played the game before, and I haven't played a fighting game before, I would generally win. The only problem is my skill base remains the same as when I first start.
That's where we adapt.
Yes, whereas if the other person plays it for long enough, it won't take long before their skill base is twice, 3 times, 4 times mine. So if I play a game when somebody else, a fighting game, when the other person is new to the game as well, I'm going to dominate. And that's probably the same day that I'm going to stop playing it.
The score was 1-0. Right, I'm done. Thanks. That was awesome. Just wanted to test it out.
Yeah, it works good. Thanks, guys. I'll go and finish my review now. Goodbye. But yeah, look, it is a good game. People that do like that stuff. Oh, and just FYI, something I didn't know until I did a little bit of research, that Nitro Blasters is they make comics. They're graphic novels, as they like to call them. And they've teamed up with the developer who created the game out of the existing characters. So they're all existing characters in a comic book world, which is pretty cool.
And all DLC's free today.
Yes, it is. I checked that as well, and you can grab everything on the store for nothing, which is good.
Couple more indie games. Yesterday I spent a couple of intimate hours with a game called Life Goes On, Done to Death.
Oh yeah, how did that one go for you?
Yeah, cool. Infinite Monkeys is the developer / publisher.
Of course they are.
And $14.95 on the store. But basically what it is, it's a puzzle platformer, and if you're presented with a whole heap of spikes and you can't get across, well, you have to sacrifice a knight. And he jumps in there and he takes the position of just being impaled. But then you can jump on his head and then jump across and bridge the gap and move on to the next part of the puzzle. And it's all time-based challenge and the amount of sacrifices that you make.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how else to really explain it, apart from it is a really nice, neat-looking, small download also. But it's a neat-looking puzzle platformer. That you go into level, you work out how it's done, then you try and speed run it with a minimal amount of casualties. Yeah, get your brain ticking. I like it. Yeah,
it looks good.
I finished the first chapter with the minimal sacrifices and beaten all the times. But it ramps up. Like, I'm going through and it's like, yeah, I see that. And you can almost see 2 moves in front of you, or 2 sacrifices in front of yourself, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But when it comes to moving parts and you have to stand on a pedal for so long, like I had to stand on a pedal in order to make a bit of footing move across backwards and forwards. So I had to jump up, sacrifice a guy onto this bit of footing, then step on the button, move it across, get off it, press another button to tilt the footing, and that dropped him onto a button that stopped the flame and stuff like that. It's just, you think it'd be quite repetitive, but I've played, probably 20 levels so far, and I think it's fantastic. It's making me think. And there's just this weird little furry dude. His name's Jeff. He hangs around in every level, and I don't know what to do with him. He eats you.
Does he say, "My name is Jeff"?
My name's Jeff! Oh, that's the name of the trophy, I think.
Oh, right.
I got a trophy for it because I walked up to him and he bloody ate me.
Awesome.
So that was pretty cool. Another indie game. We have a review up at the moment from Weeksy, Letter Quest Remastered. So,
yeah, I played that as well.
Yeah, it's a bit different. How do I explain it? It's Scrabble with a scythe. So you look like a Grim Reaper. You move along. It moves you along. You come across a bad guy. And you have to make letters. It gives you 16 letters, and you have to use letters to make words, and the better the word, kind of like Scrabble, like your Q's are worth 3, your Q's are golds, and your K's are golds, and then you got silver and bronze, obviously your RSTs and your vowels are all 1 pointers sort of thing. And you put them all together, and you got to try and work your way through basically just a grid map of a level, and there's 4 stars in each level. It gets easy to hard. You earn gems. With those gems, and you can then go to a shop and then upgrade your abilities. Is where it kind of gets a little bit of an RPG aspect to it, because you can do your. At the moment, what I have access to is vitality, armor, and attack, and I have a potion book. What else do I have? Vitality. It's like health, like bacon. I think I can buy bacon. It gives me back 50% of my life.
Same here.
But in a nutshell, the way Weeksy described it was best. It's basically just for Scrabble lovers. The better words you can make with the higher rarity letters, the better you're going to do. And yeah. I've enjoyed it. I played through the first 2 chapters. It just gets a little repetitive in my opinion, but $14.95. If you want to try it out, I believe you can get it free on iOS and Android.
Yeah, that's right. I grabbed it and played it on my iPhone after reading through Weeksy's review on the website. Hell, why not? www.aussiegamersexpress.com. I read his review and I was like, I'm going to give this game a go. So I jumped onto my phone and started playing the free version, and I got quite hooked, and it caused me to lay awake in bed for an extra hour playing the bloody thing. But it's cool. I like it. I'm quite a wordsmith. I do enjoy games like Scrabble and stuff like that, and I liked how it threw in the little curveballs where, you know, some letters will be poison. So if you do use as a part of a big word, so let's just say, you know, you need an S on the end of this word to make it awesome. It might be poison, so using that letter might take health off you. And there are other ones where there's gems where using that letter will boost your score and stuff like that. Or there might be some that are cracked that won't give you any points for using them, but you can still use them and stuff like that. It's I think it's a brilliant and intuitive way to play the game with like an RPG aspect where you're running across cutting up enemies and stuff. I thought it was great. I love the game. I'm keeping it on my phone, that's for sure.
Yeah, look, if it didn't look so nice on the PlayStation, and like the very minimal amount of audio backing and everything it has, that's quite fine. And basically, if it wasn't as colourful and as accessible as it would be on the PlayStation, I'd probably say it wouldn't belong on the PlayStation or the Xbox, if you know what I mean. But it is those nice graphics that we just need, that chill game every now and again. And I think that's why it works on the phone, because you can go for a smoke or go to the loo or whatever, and you can spend your 10-15 minutes with it. But I don't think it's something you're going to put on your PlayStation and play for 3 hours straight, 4 hours straight. If you're not going to binge it.
How does that go with typing in? Because on the phone it was touchscreen, so I was tapping blah blah blah. How does that go? Is it a pain in the ass typing the letters out with the controller?
Nah, not at all. No, it just puts you in the grid, and you use your D-pad, highlight XXXXX. Once you've got the word you want, you hit square, and it'll attack.
Okay. Now, look, on the PlayStation 4, it is cross-buy, I believe it is. So if you buy that on your...
Yeah.
Pardon?
To the Vita.
Yeah, so if you purchase it on the PlayStation 4, it's also going to be available on the PlayStation Vita if you do have it. I still think that's where the home should be, because the touchscreen on the Vita is also going to be very friendly.
That's the hybrid, isn't it, between the phone and the PlayStation?
Yeah. Yep. So it's a fun game to play. But if you don't want to splurge on the $15, which I could understand why, it'd probably go off on a sale on the Vita or something like that if it was maybe $5. But if you don't want to splurge on that, it's free on your phone. So just grab the free one. And like, it had ads, but from the looks of things, it's still the full game. Not that I've played the PlayStation version or anything like that, but it didn't feel like a truncated version of what it should be. It just felt like they added ads into it. So that's cool. Grab on that.
Yeah, the review for Shadow of the Beast is up, so if you want to know why I haven't played that to date, go read that.
That review will explain it in explicit detail as to why that's not on your list for this week. Couldn't afford the story.
And other than Clash Royale on my phone, last but absolutely not least, is I restarted The Witcher 3.
Oh yes, there's like a Witcher wave going through the place.
Getting ready for Blood and Wine, bro.
Did you play the previous DLC?
No, I never got access to it.
Can I ask why?
Yes.
Why the hype now and not before?
To play the DLC?
Yes, yeah.
I don't know. It's just a good excuse. I just wanted to get in and try and get a platinum on The Witcher.
Okay. Maybe it's the time that's passed.
It's what, a year today almost that The Witcher come out.
Yeah, so it's probably enough times passed that you're interested again.
Well, the meeting that you had and the interview that you had, that's when that featured 2 weeks ago on the podcast.
Oh. So essentially, Snoogans and I did our job properly, and we got you pumped for it.
Yeah, it got me back. I went, a game of the year. And look, nobody does water like The Witcher. It is such a pretty game. And
haven't you played Uncharted?
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
The physics are better in Uncharted. Also, I don't know if you've seen the GIF on Facebook where they shoot a rock on one of those slidey parts.
Yeah, the shale slides, yeah.
And it just rolls down and it hits other rocks and it just starts creating like a mini avalanche.
Sorry, Sony interrupted the intro to the podcast and they've now fucking infiltrated the Witcher 3. Sorry, keep going about The Witcher.
Well, talking from one game of the year to the other.
Well, that's it.
But yeah, playing on Deathmarch, very tricksy, it's very hard actually, and whole lot more relentless as you'd expect than the other difficulties. So every side quest is being done, every collectible, everything's being looted. Instead of selling stuff, now I'm breaking it down, and it's very tedious. It's very, very tedious to get going, but I'm up and running now. I'm out of White Orchard, up to level 4, killed the Griffin. Feeling pretty pumped, pretty excited. So I'm going to put this one to bed.
That is a good game, The Witcher 3, to play when you've got no agenda whatsoever. Like you go into it going, all right, I don't want to do the story. I don't necessarily want to do specific side quests. I'm going to walk around and just look at things and see what I can do.
And fuck shit up.
And you could spend an entirety doing that and not do the same thing twice.
So it's pretty cool. Weeksy and Rep and me got the bug also, so we're all going through it again together. And I said about the Griffin and stuff, and they go, "Oh, didn't you play this, Red?" I said, "A fucking year ago."
Yeah, that was me.
Jesus Christ! And they go, "I think you said, oh, you watching those cutscenes, eh?" And I'm like, "Yeah." It's like I done this a year ago. The amount of hours of games that I've stuffed into my eyeballs between then and now is real refreshing, and to do it again.
Yeah, fair enough.
It is one of those games, and that's where it's going to get its value from. So, I love it. It's a real test. So, don't mark my words, but it could be The Witcher 3 on Deathmarch, and then Fallout 4 on Survival. Because we've got a little bit of a quiet period now between a lot of major releases, I think. So it's now time to take heed and really appreciate what we already have.
Yeah, fair enough.
But that's my week.
All right, cool. Let me go through... Beg your pardon?
End.
Oh, end. /end/body. All right, excuse me. First up, I've been playing through Uncharted again. I'm past halfway on my crushing playthrough. As I mentioned, I think, in the last episode, which was only a couple of days ago. So I'm still going on that one. Actually, first game I'm going to really touch on here, I've realised that by the time that this show goes to air, the embargo will be finished. So I'm allowed to talk about it now, even though it is still under embargo, because this show is pre-recorded. Anima, Gate of Memories. Now, obviously, we've spoken about this, Red, but ignoring all that, Red, have you heard of this game before?
No. When you're talking of enemas and gates, I'm thinking, shit.
Anima. A-N-I-M-A.
Yeah.
Anima, Gate of Memories. Now, I didn't know much about this game either, and our admin staff member, Ramutha, she contacted me saying that she would like to take a look at reviewing this game, and we contacted the publisher, and a person got back to me, and he said, he in his email that he sent me, he was actually very happy that we were taking an interest and took the time to contact them. specifically you mentioned, I'm glad that you're interested in this project, which is being created by 3 people.
A lot of good games come from small organisations.
That sort of caught my interest. Now, I had a look at the screenshots and the videos that were up on their website, which everyone can go and have a look at. And I thought, okay, it looks okay, but it doesn't look amazing. Anyway, they got back to me like they promised, and we got ourselves a review copy of the game on the Xbox One. It's going to be available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC/Steam on the 3rd of June. 3rd of June. So a little while away. And I started playing it, and my initial sort of reaction and what I felt the game was like, it felt a lot like Darksiders 2. That kind of control scheme. Kind of similar.
Third-person hack and slash.
Yeah, and it's advertised as an action RPG adventure game, which is pretty spot on. And you're playing it from a third person. And the more and more I played it, the more and more I started to think, is this guy serious? Was this game made by 3 people? Because this is way too good. This is, the quality of this game is on par with games of the likes of Darksiders 2 and, wait for it, Darksouls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, like, visually, it's probably like the previous, maybe graphically like Dark Souls 2 or something like that. But it plays amazing. One thing as well with games like this, and especially like if I look back to games like Darksiders 2 and Dark Souls, the lore in those games tend to bewilder me. Sort of, I whether I don't understand them because I'm a moron, I don't know, or just because
have a life,
or it's just not interesting enough for me to look into it. Right now,
we're digging a hole.
Hey,
digging yourself a hole. It's either boring,
or it could be boring. See, I mean, like the grab with Dark Souls, I guess, is more the gameplay than why you're doing it. But in this game, it didn't take a lot of digging to find out where everything comes from and why. It was very easy to understand, and I attribute that to because it was actually interesting. So let me give you a little bit of a rundown of what it's about. Like, you play as a character who has no name. She is just known as the Bearer. And at first, in any normal game, I would just write that off as, okay, that's she's the Bearer, whatever. But the game teaches you along the way in brilliantly voice acted conversations, where you learn, okay, her name, she used to have a name, but she's what's called a hunter. She's essentially a demon hunter who works for an establishment called Nathaniel. And I just want you to know, I'm not reading any of this. This is all off the top of my head, stuff that I've learnt in a couple of days with the game. So she's a demon hunter for Nathaniel, and prior to your existence, decades earlier, there was a demon out there called, and this is going to test me now, what was his name? Ergo. E-R-G-O is his name, Ergo. So, and he, like, ran amok and was destroying the world. But the demon hunters and Nathaniel managed to beat him down to a pulp. And his only means of escape being completely obliterated was to hide his soul inside of a book. Okay, so fast forward about 10 years, this is where your character comes into play. It's a female, known as the Bearer. She is obviously fighting demons and what have you. And Nathaniel, to help her, decide to bring back Ergo in his form as a book and give it to you the bearer, which is why you're called the bearer, because you're referred to as the bearer of calamities, which is the person who has possession of Ergo, who's in the book. And in order for your character to obtain some of the power from Ergo, you need to make a pact with him. So an agreement. And in the process of that agreement, this is a little bit weird, but the demon, so Ergo, consumes your name. It's a bit strange, but just because, okay, so that's why you no longer have a name. So that's like a side effect of this pact. But also, on the other side of the things, your character has heaps of extra powers from Ergo. And this all plays into the gameplay as well, because by a press of a button, Ergo is allowed to exit his book form and regain his... Yeah, come out as a real badass human male character who's like has polarizing powers to the bearer, but is always under her control. She has like a leash on him, if you will. So she's got control when he comes out and when he goes away. So when you're playing through the game, because they have different powers, you might come up against enemies that the bearer can do fuck all damage to. She's just hitting and doing nothing. So you've got to switch up and use Ergo, and then he'll destroy them like with a couple of hits. And this is through the gameplay. You're doing it with your normal enemies and also in boss battles. I've gotten up to a particular boss battle where there are certain visual cues that will tell you which character you need to use. Otherwise, you're not going to do any damage. So it's quite unique there. There's a massive emphasis on platforming, which is quite cool in a game like this. I've enjoyed it. Like there's a boss fight, which is a platformer. Really, you're jumping up from like Mario, like you're jumping all these platforms to get to different areas, and then it just gets harder and harder after every hit. And this is where I want to bring into my references about Darksouls, is the game has no specific direction. It doesn't tell you, it's not linear. You don't go here, then here, then here. You go wherever you, because you don't know where you're going. You've got an idea on what you need to do, but you just meander. So you might go and find one boss first that I did second, like you can do in say your Bloodborne or your Dark Souls. And the boss battles are very Dark Soulsy, which is pretty cool, and it works quite well. And I don't know what else to say. It's playing very well. It's very hard, and unforgiving, but it is completely way off the scale compared to what I thought I was getting into. It is a fantastic game. You got any questions, Rick?
Not really. I just want to throw another comparison in there. You say Darksiders and Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Fucking... Oh, wow. I just had it there at the tip of my fucking head. Sparta. Fucking... Not God of War. Devil May Cry.
Yeah. Yes. No, very good likeness to Devil May Cry as well, yeah. There's massive skill trees, which I'm using, not like my playthrough of Devil May Cry. You pick up health shards, which is like Dark Souls. They take quite about a second and a half to administer, which basically means you've got to hold up on the D-pad and a bar goes across the bottom of the screen. When it gets to the end, then you get healed. But like The Witcher, your health doesn't just appear; it gradually regens. And you can also regen. The character that you're not using will very slowly regenerate health as well.
Sounds like I might want to play this.
It's very big. It's a very big game. It's there are a lot of open areas. I wouldn't call it open world because it's not like Assassin's Creed or GTA or anything like that, but there's massive open areas that you can play in, and the boss arenas are pretty cool too. Look, it's great. I've hit a bit of a wall, bit of difficulty with one of the characters, but another good thing that I want to mention is that there's a good build up to when you get to the bosses. When you're getting close, you'll fight smaller enemies and find these little token things that you can pick up, and it gives you a little bit of lore and background about the boss that you're about to fight. So you know his motivations, you know why he is there, and all that sort of stuff, and it's all read out to you. You don't have to read a big slew of text. It's all voice acted, which is a big thing for me. So I'm still in the process of writing the review. It's not far from complete, but so far it's got all the ticks in the right boxes for me. It's great. Red, I think you would like this game. I think the likes of admin Nico, I think he would very much like this game. I also think Jason would get into this. Actually, Weeksy too. I think this is very up your alley, and I think there's a lot of people that would like this game. And it's a tiny developer. Tiny. The person who is creating the game is the guy that replied to my email.
It's on the ground.
It wasn't some paid PR company or anything like that. It was the guy who's making the thing, and you could tell in his excitement of the interest that was portrayed. But I'm keen on it. I think it's great, absolutely great. Blew me away. I was not expecting what I got. So, have you still got Weeksy's Xbox?
Mm-hmm.
Give it a go, man.
I do actually.
Yeah, give it a go. It's there for you to play.
Nice.
All right, we'll move on for that one. But there will be a review, probably by the time this goes live, so you can check it out on aussiegamersexpress.com. Move on. We spoke about Nitro Plus. Ratchet and Clank. I've been playing a little bit more of Ratchet and Clank there on the PlayStation 4. That's a great remaster.
Don't you mean PlayStation's Lego?
PlayStation's Lego, yeah. But we've talked about that in the past. We'll let that go. I haven't finished it yet. I might talk about it again once that's done. There'll also be a review up for that one on the website as well soon. A little bit more of Doom. Now that I've managed to get it all bright, playing a little bit more of that. That's still good. Looks great. Plays great. And I also played LetterQuest. And, of course, I've been playing Clash Royale. That's pretty much my weekend of gaming, I'd say. All tied up there. How about we move on to our next segment, yeah?
Let's do that.
Tied Ass Gaming. Okay, this week in Tight Ass Gaming, I've got another free-to-play PC game, I should say. It's called Path of Exile. Let me read out what the Steam description is, and then I'll give you a bit of a rundown on what I think of it. You are an exile, struggling to survive on the dark continent of Rayclast, as you fight to earn power that will allow you to exact your revenge against those who wronged you. Created by hardcore gamers, Path of Exile is an online action RPG set in a dark fantasy world. Now, what I would generally say that it's basically a Diablo 3 clone, but it's actually quite good. Like a lot of clone games are real clunky and pretty basic.
Oh, yeah, just relying on its clone-y.
On its similarities. But this game is actually... It's fantastic, man, for free. I didn't even feel like I was playing a free...
Near got a Diablo 2 HUD.
Well, it does. It's almost just a flat-out copy. But it works really well. The characters look cool. The graphics are great. I'll go through the specs in a second. It should run on most rigs. I found there's a section on Steam which is what I would call quite irreverent. It's strange. Like I had to double take to see or see to make sure I was seeing what I was seeing. There's a section under Steam curators, recommended curators to follow. And it says here, free as free can be, and in brackets, free, genuinely shitty reviews for the modern gamer. And then it says a little bit more, but it's cut off. Let's see if I can see it. Oh, no money, no problems is what it says, right? And then you can scroll down and it's got little quotes, but all of the quotes are like full smart-ass remarks. And I'll give you a couple of examples, but the one for Path of Exile says, Diablo 3 was incorrectly altered by a developer to have 300% breast size. This was the result. Got big titties in basically the same game, so it goes well. Let me read you some of these quotes here. There's a game called Clash of the Monsters. I don't know if having the Invisible Man as a character was a good idea. Brawlhalla, which we've had as a tight-ass gaming previously. Combat knocker gameplay in the style of Smashing Brothers. Okay, these are pretty tame ones. Let me find this one here. To Burn in Memory is a game on there, and the little quote that says, "What the fuck is this book doing on the Steam store?" It's a book. It's not a game. Party jousting. I haven't physically seen anyone I know in 6 years. Can someone play this game and tell me how good it is? Thanks in advance. Because it's a local co-op game, a local competitive game. Rock, paper, scissors, champion. The quote is, "Whoa."
just whoa.
Yeah, just whoa. That's the tone of all of these comments. You've got to have a look at them. They're actually quite fun. But anyway, we'll move on from there. It is quite a good game, Path of Exile. And it's, like I said, free to play on PC on Steam. And the system requirements, the minimum requirements is Windows XP, SP3, Vista, Windows 7 and 8. Processor is an x86 compatible 1.4 gigahertz or faster processor, 2 gigabyte of RAM memory, graphics NVIDIA GeForce 7800 GT or ATI Radeon X1950 Pro or better, DirectX 9, broadband internet connection because it's an online game, and 8 gigabyte of available space. So I think that's pretty low spec. But if you do have a good rig though, if you ramp up the graphics, it looks pretty good. There you go.
Sounds like fucking Vista. She goes back.
Oh well, yeah. Well, it works on XP, dude.
Yeah, well, that's 2000, isn't it? Windows XP.
No, I think Windows
2000 was Windows 2000.
Windows 2000 was Windows 2000. Was in 2000. Early 2000s though.
That was the next one.
Oh, there was Windows ME, wasn't there?
A Millennium Edition.
Millennium Edition, yeah. I don't know, there have been so many.
Yeah, they didn't last long, eh?
No, they turned those over quite quick. But yeah, that was this week's Tight Ass Gaming. Red, if you don't have any comments or questions about it, no, yes, no?
No.
No, alright, let's move on to Vidya Game News.
Vidya?
Alright, first up in this week's news, it's an interesting one. June's Xbox Live Games with Gold have apparently been leaked. Now, they look like genuine, like the screenshot it's on. The news item is on the website, www.aussiegamersexpress.com. We'll give you a free game if you can count how many times I give off the website within the confines of one episode of the Aussie Gamers Express podcast. It's apparently been leaked. It looks genuine. I've not heard anything really claiming that it's not, or any real reasons why it's not. And I'd like it to be genuine because the games look pretty cool. Here's what you may be getting for free if you're an Xbox Live Gold subscriber in June. First up, Rise, Son of Rome on the Xbox One. That's a cool game. Another game called Lictum Battle Mage on the Xbox One. I've not heard of it, so I don't know. Check it out. Then in the Xbox 360 arena, Red Dead Redemption. Whoa! Big one there. And that one...
Why?
What's that?
GF what? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, fair enough. That's also backwards compatible with the Xbox One.
That's why I'm telling you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, can play
it was only yesterday I was talking to Roy Boy. He goes, if Rockstar brought out a remastered version of Red Dead Redemption, would you go buy it? I'm like, yes, duh. And he goes, that's probably the only remaster I'd go buy. Jesus Christ. Just backwards compatibility is as good as remastering. The reason I want it remastered is so I can play it on the PlayStation 4 with my chat parties, with my friends, with my notifications, and with my new trophies.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Last but not least, Bioshock Infinite on the Xbox 360. Now, someone made a comment on the page. Sorry?
Fuck, that's a big, wicked lineup.
Yeah, but apparently Bioshock Infinite has been given away in the past for the Xbox 360.
Is it backwards compatible? Is that on your list?
It is not. I did check that. No.
That could be the way. Not as far as a cop-out goes, because I don't consider it to be a cop-out, but they could possibly start giving you some of the original games of gold that they gave you on the 360, but just making them backwards compatible.
Yeah. No, I double-checked it, but at the time of writing, and it wasn't on the list. So unless that changes in the next couple of days, I don't know. But there you go. They're the 4 games that are rumoured to have been leaked and looks pretty genuine. I hope it is. If it is...
It's Asian, isn't it?
Beg your pardon?
The Xbox itself, the account, looks Asian, like Chinese or...
Oh, yeah, from the screenshot. Yeah, it looks a bit different to... I don't know. It might be on a PC. It might be...
Yeah, true.
Like it might be someone internally showing it, and then someone's taken a sneaky shot or something. I don't know. If it is real, that's fantastic, but hopefully, probably by next episode, we might be able to confirm that they might actually release it, officially. So we'll confirm that hopefully by next episode. But there you go. All right, Red, give us your next bit of news.
You mentioned last week that you went and seen Angry Birds movie.
I did.
Did you see they're making a Fruit Ninja movie?
I did hear about it. I was like, that host has to be a G up. I'm not reading that. So tell me about it.
So, along the lines of the Angry Birds, right, it's these 5-minute play session games that have been turned into full live-action family comedy movies, consisting of probably about 90 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
But it's Trip Vinson. He's behind San Andreas and Journey of the Center of the Earth. Will be the producer. So it looks like it's all meant to be going ahead. So games like this, they have little to no narrative. It was Fruit Ninja was released in 2010, which was which is classed as the first wave of mobile game mega hits. So your Angry Birds and your original Candy Crush and Fruit Ninja, they all come out initially. So next we'll probably get a Candy Crush movie.
Oh god.
But like Angry Birds, whose film adaptation released on the weekend in the United States to $39 million in the box office.
Yeah, they smashed it.
They fucking smashed it, alright. That's a few microtransactions on Angry Birds.
Yeah, it was a good movie though. I'll give them that. It did work.
Well, considering 99% of their animation and their character design's been compiled over the last, 6 years?
Yeah.
It would have cost not a whole lot to put it together. But, just to keep you waiting, there's no date or director. So,
yeah.
Looks like it's got it. There's a producer and a screenwriter, so they just need a director.
But can you, try and imagine what the storyline will be?
Yeah. Annoying orange. No!
I can't quite fathom how that's going to work.
Well, how could you fathom that birds being shot from a slingshot would be a big box office hit?
No, but with Angry Birds, there was always a story there that was sort of untold of the birds were angry at the pigs, right? So they could meld a story around that, right? I get that. I get that. But Fruit Ninja is just slicing fruit.
The sword's pissed at the watermelon.
Yeah, why? I can't... I don't know. Maybe it's a some ninja guy who works in a restaurant making fruit salads, and he wants to go up in the world, but
it feels like they're going to have to expand on it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's being oppressed and told that that's all he'll ever be, and he's like, I want to be a fugu ninja. I don't want to do fruit anymore. I want to prepare dangerous foods with my mad knife and sword skills. And
pufferfish.
Yeah, pufferfish. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
But that's it. If that's what it is, we'll sue them for copyright infringements, because that's now copyrighted.
That's now our idea.
That's right. And you can buy it off me for, I'll keep it cheap and realistic, 20 grand.
40. I want 22.
40. 20. Yeah, that's what I meant. 20 for me, 20 for Red. 40 grand. Hang on, what did you do? Why are you getting 20 grand?
Oh, I got a cool beard.
Yeah, all right, you can have 20 grand then. Righto, that's very interesting. Is that all for that one?
That is cover.
All right, next up in the news, Gran Turismo Sport beta has been cancelled. I think they were a little bit disappointed that it's not coming to PC, so they gave up. If you listened to last week's show, you'll understand that. So, we got a launch date for Gran Turismo Sport, which is the 15th of November 2016. But we also found out the beta has been cancelled. When that news came across my my screen, I read it wrong and thought the game was cancelled.
Oh, wow. They just spent all this money at the Paris Games Week and, fuck
you
it.
Just announced that it was coming in November and you just canned the game? What happened? But yeah, no, it's just the beta. The beta was cancelled. So a spokesperson claimed that the amount of development time that the beta requires is too much when they could be focusing that time on the final product.
Cool. Honesty.
Yes, but all I've got to say with that is good luck with that. Because we all know what happens to other games in the past that have had online components that weren't tested.
Oh, yeah, but this is tried and tested, this development company. She'll be 8. I have faith.
Yeah, me too. But anyway, that's all it is for that one. Pretty simple and quick one. The Gran Turismo Sport beta has been cancelled for this. There's not going to be any beta testing, which is unfortunate. I was looking forward to that. We'll have to wait for the real thing in November. Red, what's your next bit of news, buddy?
Destiny, Rise of Iron. The DLC for Destiny that was never meant to be coming, though I was led to believe, because apparently Destiny 2 was the thing, so there was going to be no new content for Destiny year one.
That's what I thought.
But there will be. Apparently. So it was first appeared on Reddit, and then it was confirmed by Kotaku. And the image that we've seen, well, the 2 images that I've got here, is supposedly marketing material being prepped for next month's E3 conference. So there's very little detail, obviously, so they're probably going to tell us at E3, because E3's in June? Yes, it is in June, so that's just around the corner, but it appears to show an NPC character known as Lord Saladin, surrounded by wolves. He looks like a bit of a tank, wielding a flame battle axe in the front of a snow-capped and breached section of the Earth Cosmodrome's wall. So, just most likely expanding on what already is, well, on the disc. Still.
I want to offer a prediction.
Yeah.
Everyone's expecting a new raid, won't have one.
Yes. Kotaku sources claim the expansion will feature a new raid. Based around the Fallen this time. Originally meant for the release alongside the online shooter, so Destiny's April update. Remember there was meant to be a raid, then they canned it?
Oh, did they?
Yes, back in April.
Alright, well, my prediction will be deleted from the show. Never said it. Never said it. Nah, it's all good.
Other than new raid and what looks to be some new strikes on the Cosmodrome, there should be new maps for PvP and maybe some new Iron Banner content. So watch this space, I guess. They're going to drag just the last $40 out of Destiny players before they release number 2, excuse me. But they did have a little bit of a dig at the Division, if you would like me to read you a quick quote.
Oh, please do.
Rather than punish players for playing the game in the way we didn't predict,
Huh.
We've been waging an investigation into our code. That was from the community manager, David Dogue.
Shut up, David.
Yeah, shut up, David. Ban your exploiters.
He's just dirty that...
Division ever come out.
His player base is gone. Of course you're not going to ban them. There's only 8 left.
Do you reckon they've taken apart from Destiny 2 and made an extra DLC to try and keep the interest alive?
Yeah, that could be the go.
It'll still be on Destiny 2's disc.
That's it. They've just taken it off there.
Yeah, I would be fucking surprised. They had to do something. They really had to do something to combat the Division. Yeah, it's buggy, though the patch notes have gone live today because we get our 1.4 today that we're recording, so a lot more bugs are being fixed. But when it's a brand new IP, you give a little bit of leeway as long as you see the developers and whatnot trying to fix it.
Yeah.
Then you can't be too harsh on them. It's when they leave blatant broken shit in there that ruins an experience, you can get grumpy. But when they're trying to fix it, and this is across 3 platforms, you've got to give them a little bit of leeway. So, new incursion tonight.
Well, that's it. So we're actually scheduled to play You Don't Know Jack tonight. However, we can make it work. So we're playing You Don't Know Jack while it's down or downloading.
Downloading, yes.
And the good thing about this You Don't Know Jack thing, which you'll know a bit more about if you probably check out the stream when you're listening to this on twitch.tv. Check out Aussie Gamers TV. You'll be able to see the stream that we've done. The good thing about You Don't Know Jack is you just got to use your phone or a computer or a laptop or a tablet. So while everything's downloading, we'll be able to play that. That's cool. All right, move on to the next news item. My last one. Sexist video game tester fired. Now, I'm very, very curious about this one, Red. Have you been moonlighting as a video game tester for Naughty Dog?
Yes, as far from the kitchen as possible.
Look, a quick note about this news item. I will be coming a little bit close to spoiler territory for the ending of Uncharted 4, but I'll be as vague as possible, okay? So there is a quote towards the end of what I'm going to say here, and I have slightly altered the quote, cut out a bit. I'll make it obvious, and it won't spoil anything. Red, have you finished it yet?
Of course not. I'm playing 3 games at once.
Why can't you just finish this game so we can talk about it?
Because it annoys the fuck out of you.
No, but well, yes, it does, but for good reason. Because we run a podcast where we talk about games.
Spoiler free too.
Well, yeah, I suppose. I don't really want to spoil it.
You just want to have a social chat about it.
I do, you asshole. Fucking hell, man.
You selfish prick.
Anyway, let's get on with this. So, during the playtesting of Uncharted 4, some sexist testers were outraged by a scene where Drake gets beat up by a character named Nadine, who is obviously female. Now, that's a tiny little bit of spoiler. It's nothing amazing. It's just a fight that happens in the game. It's a cutscene, blah, blah, blah. So he was like, oh, why is Drake getting bashed by a woman? That's so not right. That's not a quote. I'm just making fun of him now. Okay, so that's not where it ends. That's just the tip of the iceberg. The tester that was asked to leave was enraged by the game's ending sequence, which I will not spoil right now, so you can still listen if you like. But the tester threw his arms in the air like a 2-year-old protesting what's for dinner, cracked the shits and said, "Not you too, Naughty Dog. God damn it! I guess I'm done with Uncharted. If you guys make another one with this... ... fucking bullshit." He blew up.
Wicked.
So they sacked him. Get out, mate. Which is, I think, fair enough. But wow. Now, Uncharted's ending, which once again I'm not going to spoil, I liked it. I thought it was well done. I thought it was expected. It didn't end how I predicted. Do you remember how I predicted it?
Broken leg, maimed.
Yep.
Can't move on.
Yep, can't move on. Nah, it didn't end like that. So, I think it ended well. I think it was done quite well. And I like
Nick's already spoiled one major part of the ending.
Oh, has he? What a see?
Yeah.
If you just play the game, Red.
It was before I even got it!
Oh, right. Okay. Fair enough. But look, I think that's crazy that this bloke's lost his mind. There are people out there.
So it's obviously over some female thing he's blown up about.
It's a sexist related thing.
Yeah, wicked. I support him. I'll hire him.
You're a dickhead.
He could test my games.
Anyway, so whether, the Uncharted series continues on and what direction it goes, who knows? But I think it ended well. So, what a dickhead cracking the shits there. If it wasn't you, it's probably someone you'd get along with.
A bearded redhead.
He probably. When I read this story, in my head, in my mind's eye, he was a bearded redhead.
That's our boy. We leave a good impression.
Oh, dickhead. All right, give us your last bit of news, please, Mr. Sexist Redhead Man.
So, Microsoft and 343 Industries are bringing Forge-level editing tools from Halo 5 Guardians to Windows 10.
Mm-hmm.
Females aren't allowed to take part. Just joking. Players will be able to create new maps, game modes on their desktops and then export them to play on their Xbox One.
Oh, shit, that's good.
Not bad, because it's much easier to use a mouse.
Yeah, I wish they'd do that for trials.
Yes, you keep saying that. I knew you'd be happy about this. So, PC-specific features include keyboard and mouse support, increased screen resolutions up to 4K, and online cooperative building and testing on the desktop. This is pretty cool.
That is pretty neat. This needs to be a trend.
It does, hey. So, a quote from Tom French of 343 Industries: making it free on Windows 10 literally gives the chance for anyone who wants to jump in and try their hand at building a cool new map for Halo 5. Forge was introduced in Halo 3 and become a popular way for players to express their creativity within the game and to extend subsequent games' lifespan. And that's what it's going to do. If you can go on there and once a week you have your LAN sessions with 8 or 7 other mates, and you just go, all right, we'll go grab these 3 maps. It's gonna keep that shit going. Or now people just play online, but it's just gonna keep the game going and going and going, which I think they need, because obviously these days, unless not even Call of Duty are releasing year by year from the same developer, they're going to need 2, 3, 4 years to develop a new game for it to stand up in today's scrutiny. So
yeah,
this sort of shit is a wicked incentive.
Yeah, that's it. The more you can encourage crowd content, I think the more a game will be alive for longer. I think that's impressive. Because I can still play trials and play maps I've never played before that feel like a production quality. So that's brilliant, amazing.
Mm.
All right, that's all our news, isn't it?
Yeah, it's exciting.
Okie dokie then, let's go into this week's What's That Sound? Right, Red, last week's What's That Sound, I think, had you stumped?
Yes. What was it, please?
It was, in fact, this sound. Which is Mega Man 3, Death.
Ah! I was 50% of the way there.
Yeah, what'd you say? It was like
It was a shit game and someone was dying. No. Love you, Nick. No, 8-bit or 16-bit game with someone dying.
Yeah, you did say that. So, and I said it was a good clue for people.
Yes.
So that was last week's one. I think Ben Martin had a guess.
Yes.
And was incorrect. Gave him a free game though, because he was like all flattering us, saying that we're awesome and shit.
Yeah, I can't blame him.
Me neither.
Pretty awesome.
Pretty cool guy. And then he called us wankers or something, didn't he?
Homos.
Homos, that's right.
But I think that was more of a proposition. He was waiting for one of us to go, oh, why did you know?
I think you forgot the question mark. Homos?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. Oh, brilliant. Coffee time.
Oh.
And by coffee... By coffee, I mean gay sex.
You a cup of tea with twisted lemon? I twisted myself.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, I cannot.
No, it's not surge, it's surge. The way you say it sounds like a detergent. Alright, that's another one. If anyone can...
What's that sound?
Yeah, if anyone... Send us a message to the page with either the sound that I haven't played yet, because we get carried away, or what were we just quoting then? Oh, that's hilarious. Alright. Well, let's have a listen to this week's sound. Red, I'd expect you'd probably get this one. Should be fairly easy. Although it's not Googleable. Sorry, Roy Boy.
Yes.
Yes. Well, oh.
Play it again. Nah, definitely.
I actually thought it was one thing, and Red's given me an answer that's made me question that, whereas it could be that one too. Yeah, either one will yield you a game. Hell, I've been giving games out for wrong answers too, so it doesn't really matter in the end, but I'll do a little bit of research and we'll find out and clarify for next week. Anyway, that's this week's What's That Sound? Send us a message to the Facebook page, Aussie Gamers Express Facebook page, that is. If you know what the answer is, then you may get yourself a free game. All right.
Roy's going to go, fuck you. I can see him hitting the microphone thing on the phone where you can verbally search something and going...
Oh, that's funny. All right, well, that brings us to the end of this week's What's That Sound, which leaves us with Red's Shout.
All right. I am cheating again. I'm taking all the answers from a post that I put up because I thought there were some pretty interesting answers and some demented ones. So the tag... The bloody post just said I game so much that I play other games just to take a break from my main game.
Oh yeah.
And I just wanted to list some of the people and some of their chill out games and my reaction to some of those chill out games. First and foremost, you, Trials Fusion. Get fucked. That's more stressful than any main game that I play.
I chill out playing it.
Yeah, for you, chill out play it. George Schneider. Rocket League. Yeah, awesome chill-out game. Andrew Roy with his Rory McIlroy. That's not a bad chill-out game either. This is where it kind of gets a little bit dark and demented. Callum Cox and Brendan Brown. Darksouls. It's like, yeah, my life is so fucking hectic and every game I play is so fucking hectic, I'm going to chill out and play Darksouls. You sirs need help.
Yeah, it sounds like it. You guys need a fucking holiday.
Aiden Stewart, Rare Replay. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there to chill out with.
Ben Martin slides in again. Black Ops 3. Yeah, I agree. I used that as a chill-out game last week, actually. Fair to say it's no longer on my hard drive, because every time I need to download a 3 kilobyte update, I've got to delete something worth 50 gig worth of games.
Yeah, my TiVo died, and I ripped the hard drive out of it. I was hoping it was going to be one of those small hard drives. I was going to give it to you, because it's a terabyte, but it's not. It's a big, full-sized PC one.
You're a thoughtful motherfucker.
I thought about it, yeah.
Snoogans, Project Cars and Rocket League. And last but not least, Matt Turvey with his 23 notifications the other night. This was one of them. Diablo 3. Even though he has Doom and Uncharted 4 at the moment, he still can't drag himself away from Diablo 3. And I know this because we're personal friends also. And he sends me a message going, oh, how you going? How's the new games going? I'm going, yeah, fucking rad, rah, rah, rah. Oh, I'm still playing Diablo 3. It's like, you have a problem.
Diablo 3 is a good game to be obsessed with, though.
Copy that. So, thanks for everyone for joining in that conversation. And, Brendan, Callum, get help.
Well, that's it. That's Red Shout. Thanks, buddy. And last words. Got any last words before we finish the show?
I do, but rudely interrupted by my phone making its noise this morning.
Yeah.
A little bit of useful information to date. So today, being Tuesday, the cumulative worldwide sales of Uncharted 4: A Thief's End have exceeded 2.7 million units.
That's a lot of copies. For a single, an exclusive title that's only available on the PlayStation 4. That is pretty good.
So more copies of Uncharted have sold than Xbox Ones?
You're not quite.
Almost. Wii U's.
I think they're up about 45, aren't they? 45 mil?
Oh, probably, yeah, that was...
Oh, no, it was an exaggeration. I know you weren't actually drawing that conclusion. If you thought that, I'd probably sack you because you're a moron.
Birds of a feather, I could go somewhere, I'm sure.
Well, it made it a little bit awkward. I've got some last words for you. What have I got? Have I got some emails here? I've got one from Blizzard, chiming in after we talked about Diablo 3. Have a guess what Blizzard are telling me about.
Overwatch.
Oh, God. That's all I hear about. More than 9.7 million players fought for the future in over 190 countries worldwide. Yeah, that's the post-match stats from the open beta.
Wait, it's released today.
It is, yeah, by now, 24th of the 5th, 2016. So, yeah, it is now available. You heading off now to go and grab it?
Nah.
No way. It's a full retail game that's only multiplayer. Get it.
Yeah.
No, thank you. If it was $50, I may entertain it. Probably
if it's $50, I'd get it.
Yeah. Whatever. That's cool. Thanks, everyone, for listening. That's the end of our shame. Our shame?
No, it's not. It's only the beginning.
It's only the beginning of our shame. But it is the end of this week's show. Thanks, everybody, for listening. I have been Lucas, or also known as LewkOne.
And I've been Red, also known as Red.
Or the jerk that didn't like the ending of Uncharted 4.
Thanks, guys.
Gotcha. This week's show has sadly come to an end. Be sure to search for Aussie Gamers Express on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, iTunes, Stitcher, Intune Radio, and just about every other social network known to man. If you have any snail mail you want to send us, shoot it over to PO Box 130, Cranebrook, New South Wales 2749, or just email us at info@aussiegamersexpress.com. Catch you all next time on the Aussie Gamers Express Video Game Podcast.
May I offer you something to drink? A wine, a cocktail, espresso?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
I'll make it myself right back there with a little lemon twist. It's good. You should try it.
No, I'm fine.
I see you look at this piece.
Yeah, I was wondering how much something like this went for.
$130,000.
Get the fuck out of here!
No, I cannot. It's serious because it's very important piece.
Have you ever sold one of these?
Sold it yesterday to a collector.
Get the fuck out of here!
Serious, I said it myself.